Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. So I've had a commission for a really exciting sewing project. This is going to be a fairy tale gown and I've worked with this lovely lady before. I can't wait to get started on making her a new dress. So I thought I'd bring you along with me for the whole process so you can see what goes on sort of behind the scenes of making a custom made dress. So far we've had conversations about what style she'd like, what colours she'd like. She sent me a photograph of the wedding dress, so I know sort of what to have in mind as to what would look nice standing next to it as part of the bridal party. So the first thing to do is go through my fabric stash and gather together some pieces of material to get started with. Now I know she wants pinks and florals, and pink florals. I think she wanted all shades of pink. So I have some fabric that I've dyed. I know I'm going to be incorporating that into it because this is, well, I'll show you, hang on. So everything is a little bit busy over the side of the room, but here is some organic cotton gauze, and I love this because it just looks so ethereal and delicate. So we've got sort of two shades of pink here. This is more of a peachy, sort of dusky colour. So I'm going to get that out, and this one is slightly different as well. This is a little a little more mauve, and I think these might be too mauve, these ones at the back there. But I will send the lady some photographs of what we have. Ooh, I've got some lovely satin. Oh, that is nice. I might use that in amongst it as well. Right, I don't think I've got any pink florals. I've got this quite a delicate, I'm not sure about this fabric. I'm not sure this is, it's like a seersucker. I'm not sure that's suitable for a wedding guest dress. So no, I think I'll leave that behind. Let's see what we've got upstairs. Right, I have brought you up to, I've got this little room where I do keep the rest of my fabric stash. It doesn't all fit in my studio. So I've got this shelving here, and despite what it looks like, it's quite organised. So I should easily be able to find the pink fabrics. This is all the Indian clothing. So we've got some really nice embellished pieces of fabric and some lovely silks, and it's, yeah, really pretty. So this is the bit I'm going to look through next. Yeah, and here are the pinks. I can't see many florals though. Oh no, that's quite lilac-y, but I might show that to her anyway, because I know she does like lilac as well. Right, I've got nowhere to put you down while I have a look through this, so I'll show you when I've gathered it all together. So I've laid out all of the fabrics and materials on the desk here, and I've sent photos along, and she's now seen them, and she said that she likes the central section best. So I'm going to go for the more mid-tone pinks, and she did like the brighter, this sort of coloured pinks as well. So we're going with those, with a little of the pale mixed in as well. Okay, slight change of plan, well, complete change of plan. The customer has asked for sleeves, so I think the easiest thing is actually just to start again. Well, the dress is really taking shape now. How are you doing today? Let me know in the comments how you are. I'm kind of tired because I am melting. It's like a furnace upstairs and the noise of the fan was just keeping me awake last night. I just couldn't sleep, so I'm a little bit tired today, so excuse me if I look a little more tired than I normally do. But I thought I'd give you a little update on the dress that I've been making as a custom order. It has changed. The first clips you might have seen were of something completely different. Here we are. This is how it began, with like these little cap sleeves, the crystals on the shoulders. Really difficult to show because there's just a giant gap where there was a zip, and then I used the zip on the back of this dress, so I took it out again. So I've sort of started to piece together the underneath bit here. I thought, actually, do you know what, I might make myself, because I'm similar measurements to the lady that I'm making for, I might make myself just a top. This is obviously a little too see-through. Oh, perhaps not, obviously, it doesn't show very well here, but it's a bit too see-through. But I will layer it up, and I think I'm going to make myself a top. It might turn into a dress, we shall see. So anyway, my client decided she wanted sleeves, proper sleeves, not just little fluty cap sleeves. So rather than try and piece together sleeves onto something, because that's just draped and patchwork together, so it's quite hard to fit sleeves onto it. I mean, it's possible, but I thought, actually, I will just begin again with reusing some sleeves from another tunic, which is how this sort of has begun its life. Yeah, so these are the sleeves, and you can't really see much else of the original tunic at the front there. By the way, I hope you can see all the curtains are closed because of the sun. Perhaps I should open them just for a little bit. I'm just trying to keep the sun out. So I'm at the stage where I've just been pinning on some tutu net. Oh, it's a bit difficult to see at this angle. Some of it's sewn on, some of it's still pinned, and then I've pinned on some patch pockets that will be hidden soon with the more layers of skirt that I'll be building up. Yeah, and that's what the back looks like at the moment. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with this today, even though it's a Saturday, because it is just too hot to be doing the things that I would probably normally want to do at the weekend. Oh, also, the other reason why, let me tilt you down a bit. This is not hanging very well on the mannequin because I only have half here. Here's the bottom. Oh, here's the bottom half. Well, I'm going to take this off now anyway to get sewing, so I'll show you. And I've ordered a new one that is due today, so as soon as it arrives I'll be showing you, because I'm quite excited. It's a better quality one, I think, than this one, or at least it's costing more money, and hopefully it will last a bit longer, because it's not like... Oh. Just lean on it. It's not like I've treated this well. It gets moved around this room, obviously, but as far as I remember, it's not ever fallen over, and I'm not pulling it about too much, so I'm a bit disappointed. They're all quite delicate though, because of all their moving parts to make it adjustable. This bit has totally snapped off at these 4 points here. It's just had it, so yeah, time to invest in a new one. It's here! Just at the right time. I was just about to get going on the dress again, and now this is right, so I can hang it properly. I'll tell you what, I love the fact that size 16 to 20 is medium. I also quite like the fact that the next size up is F for full. So you can have a mannequin for after you've eaten your roast dinner and one for before. Before I get this out and put together, hopefully that won't take too long, they're usually quite simple to do. I had another couple of deliveries. Actually, one of these is a present for my niece, so I won't show it just in case she sees this before I have a chance to give it to her. And the other another delivery. And by the way, if you're concerned about all my deliveries, it's because I live in a rural village in the middle of Somerset, and I don't know where I could go and purchase some of these things, but I feel like it's actually better for the environment for the Amazon delivery person to pop round on their route with my order than me going and driving half an hour to the nearest art supply shop. Ooh, to buy a new sketch pad. Oh, it's a bit flimsier than I expected. So I've also recently purchased you know me, I can't resist a bargain. And so, I mean, I try and save money with my art supplies by buying secondhand from eBay. Sketch pads don't come up very often, but a big bundle of them came up recently from C. White of Brighton. So this is British made sketchbook. Is it just sketchbook or is it loose paper? I think it is. I was expecting a sketch pad, so I don't want to take them out of the packaging. Let me just check. Anyway, I took one of the new sketchbooks off to Cornwall with me recently. I don't know if you watched that video where I did some sketching. Just some basic, just some little watercolours of the view. Nothing special, but something I really enjoyed doing on holiday. I am impressed with the paper. So, it's just loose pieces of paper. That's not what I expected. I expected this to be a sketch pad. Never mind, it doesn't really matter, except for the fact that it's difficult to store. A2, the A2 size, oh yes, I'm never going to get that in again now. Damn it. A2 size is really difficult to store. I mean, I have one here behind me, can you see that? All flopping over. I bought this recently as well. So this one is acrylic paper, and this one is just usual cartridge paper. I don't know if C. White of Brighton do other fancy paper. I don't know if they do watercolour paper or just cartridge paper, but I wanted this. I've been doing these competitions and I've been feeling limited even by the A3 size, so I bought some A2 paper. So that's for when I do acrylics, and coming up the competition is for using, oh god, dark, trying to move about the room so I brighten up a bit. It's for charcoal and graphite, so I thought perfect, I will just use the cartridge paper, but this is going to be difficult to store. And I'm really excited because I actually really love using charcoal. I'll have to check the description and leave a review. See, like, now where do I put it? Now where do I put it where it's not flopping everywhere? Under there on its side maybe? Yeah, maybe. Ah. Okay, perfect. Right, let's crack on with this. I'm going to stop talking to you because I need the fan on and I know you won't be able to hear me. The fan is just underneath you. So yeah, let's get this put together. Exciting day. Okay, well, I thought some of you might actually be in the market for a mannequin, so I thought I'd just have a couple of things to say about it. The first is, when you're buying an adjustable mannequin, don't expect the pins to be able to go into it. I see that a lot when I was looking at reviews. A lot of people were saying that as a negative point. I might be wrong, but as far as I know, if you're buying an adjustable mannequin, the base of it is going to be plastic. I don't think there are any that are foam or otherwise. Let me demonstrate quickly. You can usually, you get a fabric cover with a little bit of foam in underneath. So yeah, you can pin things like sideways like that into the fabric. So you can still use pins, but you can't stab it. And I think people don't really realise that. So if you're a person with a consistent size, then I would actually recommend looking for a foam mannequin that happens to be in your size, or creating one if you're going to be making yourself a lot of clothes that people can do with newspaper and stuff, or buying a regular size mannequin and then padding it out with a padded bra. It doesn't look very pretty or whatever, but sometimes that's the best way to do it. And then you can use pins you can just poke them into the foam. That does actually usually make things a lot easier. But obviously, as I'm making for other people, I do need an adjustable one, and my weight changes quite regularly, so I need an adjustable one anyway. So that's why I've chosen this one. I can't tell you the brand of this one. It was unbranded. I think I saw the same one on Amazon when I was searching for this one. If you just look for this sort of maroony colour, then you'll probably spot it, particularly as it doesn't have a name. So this one, however, is called the Lady Valet. Yeah, so I think that's the name of the brand. So if you search for Lady Valet, then you'll spot it. I can't really give you a proper review on this yet until I've used it for a while and can review how sturdy it is and how long it lasts, basically. But I like the fact that it's a sort of off-white colour. I really don't like using brightly coloured ones, particularly if I'm making like a pink dress and it just clashes. The Diana one, which is my smaller dress form, is a bright red, and I don't like that either. So I like the colour, I like the wooden knob at the top, I like the wooden stand, and so that makes it automatically feel much sturdier. It doesn't wobble around like, I mean, look, I suppose it's not a good example because it is all falling apart, but the plastic feet on the bottom of this are a bit rubbish. Negative sides is adjusting this. Took for blooming ages. turning. Yeah, you can do 2 wheels at a time and it still took forever, whereas this is a nice dial. You just do that and you do that and it changes really quickly. Yeah, whereas this one, it took a long time to turn the wheel. But maybe that is a better system. Time will only tell whether this is actually a better mechanism. There still seems to be an awful lot of flimsy plastic parts to this. I mean, look at that. This measuring point here. I can see, look, it's just so flimsy. And it was still, I think, this cost me £160, £150, £160, I can't quite remember. And I think that was on a good price. I think the smaller model actually cost £180, so they'd obviously overstocked on this size, presumably. So they're not cheap, but it's a necessity for me, so I just needed to swallow that cost. I mean, this one is still £100, it might even be £110. So I'd say if you can stretch that bit further, this still seems a much sturdier and more quality mannequin. Just doing that, it feels sturdy, it's nice. So I would imagine that this is the better one to go for if you can afford it. Oh, and one last thing to say is just the shape, I feel, is a little better. If you look at the boobs, I think it's got a more realistic ribcage shape, whereas this one, the boobs just sort of are a bit flatter. Do you see what I mean? I just feel like this is a more realistic shape for most people. I think they will go in a bit more in the rib cage, whereas this one doesn't. That's another thing why I think this one is better. Right, let's now carry on with the actual dress. Quite a few years ago now, we had a log basket commissioned, and you may think that's completely irrelevant to this video, but bear with me. Yeah, my friend Amanda made a willow anything. She made anything out of willow. She was really talented. She could make willow do whatever she wanted it to do, and I commissioned her to make us a willow basket to fit next to our Rayburn. Perfect positioning for filling with logs. I wanted it good and sturdy. She did it double layered at the bottom of the basket so that it didn't just, all the logs didn't just fall through, and it was such a nice feeling. It was a really nice feeling to support somebody who had a craft and a talent that you wanted to support. And also it was such a nice feeling to have something especially made for us, to fit in the right spot and to be really good quality. And I guess I'm telling you this because I really love that I can bring that feeling to other people with my dresses, because it's just so nice. And I know, because I've made myself clothes as well, to step into a dress that just fits you perfectly and is just the style that you like, that you can't find anywhere on the high street. And particularly if you've got a non-standard shape, you know, that you're expected to have. So let me know in the comments, have you ever had anything especially made for you? I'd be really interested to know. I mean, I think a lot of people would get their curtains made to fit their windows, that sort of thing. I've never done that. I've just trawled eBay until we found the right size. Yeah, let me know. Have you had cushions made? Have you had clothing made? Did you have your wedding dress especially made to fit you? That's something else. But if you never have, it might not cost as much as you think it might. I mean, obviously everyone has a different budget, and having something handmade is definitely going to cost more than supermarket prices, you know. But if you're used to shopping at high-end high street clothing shops, then you'll probably find that actually you can have things made. I had totally forgotten. I've had some dresses made for me on Etsy and it's silly because you might think, well, why don't you just make them yourself? But these are just normal dresses, I suppose is what you'd say, that it's not my style, it's not my forte, it's not my skill to be able to line up buttons, you know, that sort of thing, and have a straight zip or whatever, you know. Or actually some of mine have got really delicate pin tucks, they look really good. But yeah, no, I did get some dresses made through Etsy and they were pretty good value. I think they were about 45 to 50 pounds each. You may have seen me wearing all those. I got 5 of them and most of them are shades of grey, which I wear throughout winter all the time, so you might have actually seen me wearing them. But yeah, when they arrived in the post and it's like you put them on and it fits and it's loose, you know, I don't like tight clothing. That's the problem with me and my size. I don't want to have fitted clothing. So if you've got a dress in the shop that's size 14 and fitted, it probably looks great, but on me it doesn't. So I want to go up a size, and if I want to go up a size, that just doesn't exist. So I went to Etsy and I had some dresses made, and it's so nice to have something that actually works for you, that you had made. Right, so that was a little tangent. Back to prices. Yeah, so I was talking about the prices. So those prices were not as much as I thought they would be. I think that was made in, I can't remember which country. I don't want to say China, assuming it's China. So if I was to buy a handmade dress in England, I would probably be looking at double that price. Yeah, but if you're used to shopping in places like Reese, All Saints, even Hobden and Jules, Hobbs, Monsoon, those sorts of brands, it wouldn't be that uncommon to be paying more than £100 for a dress. So it depends where your level is at, obviously, but I'm waffling on, and what I'm trying to say is do have a look into it, because there are so many advantages to having something made for you. Not just the wonderful feeling but also you can, particularly if you're buying from Etsy, then you can request things like, could I have that dress, but could I have it with a v-neck instead of a round neck? Or could I have that dress but with long sleeves, not short sleeves? That sort of thing. Really handy to have those options. And there are people out there who have small businesses, working from home or working from a small studio, that cater for you. So yeah, it might be worth thinking about it if you've never thought about it before. So I'm going to say goodbye here. The dress is almost finished. I'm absolutely loving it. It's so pretty. Am I allowed to say that even though I made it? But I mean, look at those colours. I just love all those shades of pink. I've still got a couple of things to do. I'm waiting for a reply from the lady who ordered the dress, because she wanted a couple of little touches to show her left-wing sort of political leanings. She lives in a very right-wing area of America, and she just wanted those little subtle touches. So one of the things we're doing is potentially adding a lace collar. Let me show you. Possibly this one, but I've got a couple of other options. So we're thinking about putting a little bit of a, so I mean this is currently an old collar, but I can cut it in half and put one half here and one half here, and that's sort of to represent the collar of dissent made famous by Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, an American feminist icon, and so that would be one touch we could do. And also we were thinking about doing a little rainbow to represent LGBTQ+, you know, just a little gay pride symbol there, and do like little ribbons and pop that perhaps somewhere on the skirt. So I'm just waiting to hear back from her, and then I've got a couple of edges to finish off. I think I'll add a bit more lace to one of the hems that I feel like needs a little more finishing, and then we're done. So I'll leave you with clips of that and say goodbye here. Thank you so much for watching and spending your time with me. If you are interested in having your own custom made dress made by me, this sort of style is how I work, you know, don't come to me if you want just an ordinary, I don't like saying ordinary, but you know what I mean, but a style dress. But if you want something fairy tale and whimsical and something a little bit different, then I might be the person for you to make that dress. So I'll put the link below to my website, and do go and have a look if you think you might be interested. And that's all from me this week. I will see you again soon. Take care, and I hope you're surviving this heat. By the time this video goes out, the heat might have gone, but oh my gosh. England has, I don't remember a summer like this, certainly not since we've been living here. But I do have childhood memories of long, hot summer days. But yeah, I hope you're surviving it if you are here and not used to it. I know a lot of countries out there will be used to this sort of temperatures, but we're not. So yeah, see you soon, take care, bye.